Take a look at the nutrition label on your favorite fruits, vegetables, and other foods. It's safe to say that most commercially canned foods are full of artificial preservatives and sodium. That's one reason why home preserving is once again becoming popular, according to Judy Price, a Cornell University expert and teacher on food preservation. She's featured in the summer 2013 issue of Out Here, Tractor Supply's free quarterly lifestyle and how-to magazine. With the information and tools available today, you can successfully preserve just about anything you want. The key to safe home canning is killing the bacteria in canned foods that may cause botulism. Judy will show you how, using both kinds of canning methods, pressure canning and the boiling water method. We'll start with pressure canning.
The important thing is to get everything out that you need before you're ready to start. So I have my lids, my rings, I have a place to put the hot pot, I have a paper towel to wipe the tops of the jars, I have a magnet wand to get the lids out of the water, I have my bubbler ready to go, and I also have salt if I choose to put salt in with the beans, and I have my most important thing, which is a jar lifter so I don't burn myself.
Low-acid foods, which include most vegetables, such as green beans, don't contain enough acid to prevent the growth of bacteria. Higher temperatures, about twice as hot as boiling point, are required to kill bacteria. That's done by pressure canning. The pressure in a pressure canner is not what destroys the bacteria, rather, the high temperatures it creates for a prolonged period of time kill dangerous bacteria.
Step 1 is to wash all of the vegetables. This is step 2, preparing the vegetables. This is step 3, we're cooking the beans to prepare them for hot packing the jars. Okay, I'm also warming up the jars in preparation for filling them by setting them into the canner at a low temperature.
Step 4 is filling the jars and using a plastic knife to bubble them, which means releasing trapped air that can prevent the pressure canner from creating a vacuum seal. Leave 1 inch of space between the lid and the food. This is called head space, and this is needed to give the food room to expand as the jars are processed. Now it's time to put on the lid.
Put it on and hold it in place with the ring. We turn it until it just naturally stops, and then we give it 1 more twist. And this is ready to go in the canner. Step 5 is putting the jars into the canner. Step 6 is evacuating the steam. You wait till you have a good cone of steam coming out. Step 7 is closing down the vent port.
Pressure now begins to build inside the canner, creating temperatures way above boiling point. Watch it closely and adjust your stove burner so that pressure applies slowly and evenly. Once the appropriate pressure is reached, set your timer for the correct processing time, which depends on your altitude and what you're canning.
Step number 8 is to allow the canner to naturally cool so the pressure comes down to 0. Then you remove the closure.
Wait 10 more minutes before removing the lid.
You loosen the lid and carefully lift it away from you so your face doesn't get burned with the steam.
Though you might be tempted to tip the jars as you lift them out of the canner, lift them straight up. Tipping jars might keep them from sealing correctly. Let the jars sit out on the counter overnight to allow them to seal. Once you're ready to store your newly canned food, label them and remove the rings, leaving only the sealed lid. Rings may have moisture or debris under them, which will create rust and mold. Rings should be used only during the canning process. High-acid foods, which are fruits, jams, and anything you've pickled by adding vinegar, such as salsa, contain enough acid to prevent the growth of botulinum bacteria, particularly when they're heated. High-acid foods can be processed in a boiling water canner rather than a pressure canner. The acidity, combined with the heat, will kill bacteria. To make salsa, start with the freshest of vegetables.
Step 1 is to wash the vegetables under cool running water. This is step 2. We're preparing all of our food and the jars and our canner. I've dipped the tomatoes into boiling water and then cold water so that they are fairly easy to peel. The jars are in the canner, keeping nice and warm. The canner is reaching a boiling point soon. And I'm chopping up the tomatoes and I'm getting them into a pot and applying heat to them as rapidly as possible. Step 3 is cooking the salsa, and we're going to cook it for 10 minutes. Nice gentle boil. This is step 4, and we're filling the jars. I'm ladling the salsa into the jars. I'm getting an even distribution of the solids and the liquid. And since this is going in a boiling water canner, I am now trying to achieve a 1/2 inch headspace. Step 5, the jars are in the canner and the canner is boiling gently. We're going to time for 15 minutes.
The time you process salsa may be more than 15 minutes, depending on the altitude of where you live.
Step 6 is removing the jars from the canner.
Again, as you remove the jars from the canner, lift them straight up to protect the seal. Let the jars sit out on the counter overnight to allow them to seal. Label and remove the rings.
I hope you've enjoyed learning how to can green beans in a pressure canner and salsa in a boiling water canner. And if you'd like more information about canning foods and many other canning recipes, take a look at the USDA website, homefoodpreservation.com.
Pick up the latest issue of Out Here at your local Tractor Supply store, or read back issues by visiting tractorsupply.com.